So hello, and welcome back to Tubebuddy's Coins and Banknotes, and we've got some East German banknotes. So it's been about 4 years since I made a banknote video of East Germany. So we're just going to go over the banknotes that I've accumulated. Now, a lot of these East German banknotes are harder to get. The first issue is 1948. This is the first issue printed essentially for East Germany. They did have ones with stamps over the top, but they're the previous Reichsmark banknotes, so I don't really count them as the first issue because they're not printed. So these are pretty generic. They just have the denomination, Deutschmark, on the back. Also has the denomination, but it doesn't have any features that establish it's a communist banknote. So this has all the hallmarks that this banknote was actually brushed into print. So the features are just designed to stop counterfeiting. And it probably would have been designed out just over a few months. Banknotes usually take a few years to get features correct. And the watermark, yeah, just a pattern, same as the old German marks. So it's quite nice. So these ones probably about $5 to $10. The 1948 seems to be a lot easier to get. Then the next issue we have is the 1955, but that's only from 5 to 100 marks. So all the other issues were from 5 to 100 marks, because in 1956 they issued a 1 Deutschmark coin, aluminium. In 1957 they issued a 2 Deutschmark coin. 1950 also issued the 50 Pfennig coin in aluminium bronze, and in 1958 changed that aluminium. So here we have, okay, let's have a look at the rest of the, so here's a 20 Deutschmark, a bit harder to get for the 1948. And then we have the 50. The 50 seems to be easy to get. They seem to cost about $10 to $20. So you should be able to pick this up quite readily. So this series, 1948, come in 50 Pfennig, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and 1,000 mark. So the hardest and the most expensive one to get is the 1,000. Also, the 100 seems to be a bit harder to get. And once again, you got 6 and 7 digits. So this one's the 7 digits. So this was printed in East Germany. And then you got the 6 digit. So maybe that's why I kept 2 of these banknotes. Have a look in a minute. Once again, yeah, this is probably about $20 to $30. It's quite a nice banknote in very fine condition. Okay, so let's have a look at the serial numbers. Yeah, this is 7. And that's also, so these are 7. So those ones are printed in East Germany. And I kept them probably because they've got the print plates on it. So this is 100, that one's 80, and also on the back we have print plates as well. So that is okay, it looks like 85 and 99. So once again, these are pretty generic. They all have watermarks, no security thread. So these are quite a nice feature. And at the time, this is probably would have been equivalent, probably about, I don't know, $200-300. So it's quite a lot of money. And these would have been taken out of circulation in the 50s or 60s when they issued the first series that had a person on it. And this one has, okay, has Alexander Humboldt. So this is a almost uncirculated version of this banknote. So that's quite a nice. So this is probably about $40 or $50 for a banknote like that. So if we compare it to the last 5 mark, you can see that there is a drastic size difference. So I'm not too sure why they reduced the size of their banknotes. So this series comes in 5, 10, 20, 50 and 100 mark. And, sorry, in 1972 they changed the coins from Deutschmark to Mark. In 1964 they changed the banknotes from Deutschmark to Mark. And the 1955 series is pretty much the same as this, just a different date on the actual banknote. So this one is probably a harder series to get, especially in uncirculated, and it has 6 numerals. There is no 6 or 7 numerals, they're all just 6. And here we have Humboldt University, and this is the first series with the emblem of East Germany. It's quite nice, and you can see the watermark is a hammer and a compass. So it's pretty much just the inside of the actual coat of arms of East Germany. It's quite nice. But the banknote series that I like is the last series. So these either come with 6 or 7 numerals, or they have different fonts. So the 5 mark has different fonts. So here we have the finer, here we have the wider, and they both have 6 numerals. So the 5 mark, you can still get these in consecutive. So someone obviously either kept these, or maybe even a bank kept these after 1990. So you got 2 series, 1975 and 1971. And these were used up until 1990. So obviously pretty recent. You can actually quite get them. So got 823 to 86. And the watermark is whoever is on the actual banknote. And they have a security thread going down. So this one has your Thomas Munster. So I've heard of his name, can't remember what he'd done. And Staatsbank, so State Bank of the German Democratic Republic, 5 marks of the German Democratic Republic. And this is quite a nice banknote. So there is an error in which there is a mismatched serial numbers. I don't have any of those, but you know, it's just something. Do any of these have mismatch? Yeah, to look out for. So in uncirculated, you probably talk about $10 to $20. So it's quite nice. And on the back we have harvesting wheat, and that's just information about counterfeiting. So it's quite a nice banknote. Then we have the 10. So I've you've got 2 versions, and once again you can see that there's different fonts, but there's also different numbers. So the finer font has 7 numbers, and the larger font has 6. So this one has Clara Zecken, I don't know. Yeah, Zecken, whatever. 10 mark, obviously a watermark's the same. And when I grew up, I actually would find this very interesting. You got some old technology that is, could be a nuclear power station. It's just a pretty complex setup there. Yeah, so these ones probably about $10 to $20 as well. In this condition, yeah, probably more $20 mark. In this condition, probably more like, okay, so this, yeah, probably about $5 I'd say. Then we have the 20 marks. And once again, we have 2 different fonts. So this one has 6, and this one also has 6 numerals. So there's differences with those ones. Because you don't really have too many numerals that overlap. Maybe they're both the same fonts. Yeah, maybe they are. So this one I think I got for $2 because it's ripped. So if you want to get a whole set for cheap, you're going to have to get them in this grade. And this one has Johann Goethe, 1975. Quite a nice green banknote. And here we have kids coming out of school. So they're pretty simple banknotes, but pretty effective in portraying what they want to portray. And the watermark is Goethe as well. Nice patterns in the background. And the highest denomination I have is the 50 mark. So this one has Friedrich Engels. And here we have two different fonts as well, and they're both 7 numerals. Okay, you can see the size. Looks like the style of the font is, oh no, the 8 is different on both of them. 7 looks similar. Any other same? No. So anyway, you need to get numbers that are pretty similar. And the F is more narrow. So that's the difference between them. And there are 2 other banknotes, free. You can get 100, which is the highest circulating banknote. And then you've got the 200 and 500, which were never issued for circulation, but printed in 1985. So I don't know why they printed these. So when they exchanged these with West German Deutschmarks, they changed them, a lot of them for 1-for-1, but for higher amounts, it's usually like 3 or 10-to-1. I can't remember really specifics. So this would have been equivalent to about $50 at the time. But in this condition, you have $20 or $30. And here we have a, looks like a, what do they call it? I know what it is. It's where you get oil and you separate and refine. Yeah, refinery. That's what it is. And it looks like a refinery for refining oil. Nice coat of arms. So it would have been good as a security feature, have coat of arms on both sides. Probably different elements to make that as a, a security feature. So this is described because there's a Z prefix as a replacement, but I need to actually confirm that. I'm not too sure. Anyway, that is the East German banknotes. Now, will I get the whole set? Yeah, well, eventually. Quite nice, and then I'll sell them off. Anyway, thank you very much, and have awesome banknote collecting time. Thank you, and goodbye.